Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good evening, Eastern Iowa. I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Danny Cassidy. We have a very active 24 hours to 36 hours ahead. The first couple of hours here tonight will be fine, but after midnight, we'll start to see some storms roll in, and we'll see low temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s, kind of in our northern and central areas. And then a front is basically going to sit right along Highway 30 and to the south of it, staying pretty mild in the upper 40s and low 50s. Northeast winds will start to pick up at about 10 to 20 gusts to 35, especially to the north here, where a little bit of cooler air is settling in. Then for tomorrow, high temperatures, many of the areas will see them dropping throughout the day. The only areas that will really rise is south of Highway 30, where you get close to 70 there. And look at the temperature disparity in the mid 30s to the north, close to 70 to the south. And that front is really going to sit right through our central areas. And we'll have some showers and storms in the morning that'll start to transition into snow during the afternoon and evening. And wind gusts, yes, could be as high as 60 miles per hour. For tomorrow, there are quite a few alerts out there. We have a wind advisory in effect for much of the area. We have a winter weather advisory for Winnebago County, wind advisory there for Chickasaw County, high wind warning for our western counties. So what does this all mean? Basically, it can be broken down into two parts, or three parts really. One, the worst will be off to our west. That's where the blizzard warning is in areas like Mason City and Fort Dodge. That'll stay off to the northwest. That's where the heaviest of the snow is and where the strongest of the winds are. The second part of this is it's going to be windy no matter where you are. Even if you're on this far eastern edge and you're not technically in the wind advisory, it's still going to be windy. And third, the snow for us is going to be the closer you are to this blizzard warning, including Winnebago County there where we do have the winter weather advisory, as well as Chickasaw County, Bremer County, Butler County, and then kind of including Grundy, as well as Black Hawk County as well. So that's kind of the gist of it. Now let's go in and break it down a little bit and kind of summarize it here with the Storm Track 7 Yellow Alert Day. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts potentially for all of eastern Iowa. Snow chances, especially closer to the blizzard warning you get, so farther north and west. This is for Wednesday into Wednesday night. Before that all goes down, though, we do have a chance of some stronger thunderstorms. Not expecting widespread severe weather, but some stronger thunderstorms. There's a little bit of kind of like a wedge, it looks like here. Well, it's like a boomerang. We do have a level 2 risk there for parts of Chicago and Indianapolis, but for us, again, just a level 1 risk. Could see some small hail with any storms as well as gusty winds. Winds are already going to be really strong without the thunderstorms, but could see some gusty winds. Tornado chances are very low, so again, not expecting that. This is going to be from 4 a.m. early Wednesday morning to about 1 p.m. during the afternoon, and then after that, I think our energy starts to flow farther southeast, and then that's where the level 2 risk will pick up. So let's map this all out for you here so you can see it visually. So as we head through tonight into early tomorrow morning, pretty quiet, but now here's 4 a.m. Start to see some showers and thunderstorms just off to our southwest. That'll continue to move through the morning hours, so you might wake up to some thunder. You might hear some thunder, you might see some lightning, and this is where we could see those stronger storms with some lightning, heavy rain, maybe some small hail and gusty winds. We continue to see those showers and storms through the afternoon, and then here's noon. This is where we could see a little bit of that rain transitioning into snow. That'll continue to slowly shift to the southeast. You notice more south and east, more scattered thunderstorms. To the north and to the west, we have more of that snowfall. That's why we expect the heavier snow to be to the northwest. We'll continue here. Here's 6 o'clock, so here's the evening commute. So if you live in areas north and west here, including New Hampton, Decorah, Elkader, Owine area, I even include Waterloo as well if this does fill in, this evening commute could be a little bit tricky because if there's snow falling and very strong winds, that could definitely reduce visibility. If you live south and east, especially the farther south you go, I think we'll be okay. It'll just be very windy, of course, and that rain, even if it falls just really lightly, could reduce visibility. This will continue to move to the southeast, and you notice about midnight it starts to wrap up here on our southeastern edge. And then by Thursday morning, we're going to have plenty of sunshine. It's still going to be very windy, but I think any snow that does accumulate will melt by Thursday afternoon. In terms of the snowfall totals, again, we're just dodging the worst of it. We'll show you that here in a bit. We're just dodging the worst of it. So for our far northwestern areas, including northern Butler County, northwestern Bremer County, pretty much all of Chickasaw County, including New Hampton, most of Winnebago County, including Decorah, then far northwestern Allen McKee, about 2 to 3 inches of snowfall. 1 to 2 inches in our central areas here, including Waterloo, Owine, and Elkader, and then to the south and to the east for the rest of the areas, including Dubuque, Monticello, Cedar Rapids, Tama, Iowa City, and Washington, about a trace to an inch. So I think to the farther southeast, it's more just general showers and thunderstorms, and then by the time that snow falls during the evening, it'll be pretty light. Light blue here, we'll see that afternoon snow showers, and mainly rain during the morning, and then afternoon we'll see it transition, then some showers and storms early, and then snow for much of the afternoon and evening. And even though we're not seeing a lot, again, it's that wind that's really going to make things tricky because of how strong they are, gusting up to 60. So for the snow potential, you notice here is the brunt of it, just north of Omaha through parts of Fort Dodge, Mason City, and near the Rochester area. So if we zoom in, we're missing it by maybe about 20 miles, the worst of it, or well, I should say 20 miles, but missing it just by less than 100 miles. So this is where we could see maybe close to a foot of snow in some areas. And just off to our southeast, we might see 3 at best. So we're definitely avoiding the worst of it with the snowfall. But the winds are really going to be what the issue is. Now, in terms of precipitation, it's going to be a nice soaker for us, at least in some areas. Basically, kind of along and north of Highway 20, could see up to 1 inch of precipitation, and then to the south, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of precipitation. So much needed because it's really been dry here for much of winter with the lack of snowfall. Now onto the wind gusts. So I was kind of teasing at it. It's like, all right, Danny, when are you going to get to the winds? The winds are going to be what the worst part of this is, and this is going to be for all of eastern Iowa. It's just not the northwestern areas, it's for all of eastern Iowa. So here's 10 o'clock. We'll see the winds really actually start to pick up through the overnight hours. We'll see northeast winds 10 to 20, gusts up to 35, maybe close to 40 at times. And as mentioned, this front that's going to be moving through is going to slowly kind of sit along I-80. So if you're kind of in this I-80 area and south, it's going to be kind of near the front, so winds won't be bad. But elsewhere, look at this, waking up Wednesday morning, we can see gusts around 40, 45, 50 miles per hour at times. Continue through the morning hours into the afternoon. Now this front kind of shifts a little bit, again, around 40, 50, close to 60 miles per hour. Then finally it starts to really swing through, and the worst of the winds, I think, are going to be late afternoon and then through the early night hours. That's where we're going to see the worst of the winds. This is where we're seeing widespread 40, 50, 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts. That continues through the night hours here. Here's 10 o'clock and still seeing anywhere from about 35 to 55 mile per hour gusts. Continues through the overnight hours. Thursday morning waking up still pretty strong, anywhere from about 20 to 35 miles per hour. It's not until Thursday afternoon when things finally start to die down a little bit with those winds. So those winds, again, are going to be the absolute beast, especially late Wednesday afternoon into the early night hours. So that is a summary of it. And just be ready for it tomorrow. That, again, thankfully we're not getting a ton of snow, but for areas north and west, that travel could be pretty tricky. So your city-by-city forecast for Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City. Thursday, as I mentioned, well, mostly sunny skies. Any snow that does accumulate will melt Thursday. Friday, a little bit of light rain, pretty isolated in nature, not expecting too much out of it. Saturday, we're dry. A little bit of a better rain chance on Sunday, a little bit more widespread, but just expect to be rain as of now. Then heading into next week, things look pretty dry and pretty quiet and seasonal as well, with high temperatures in the 50s and lows in the upper 20s and low 30s.